Is this $15 REDCAMP alcohol burner just as good as this solo stove alcohol burner? We're going to find out. This is the second video of our Just As Good series, and today we're going to test this alcohol burner that we can get on Amazon for about $15 versus the solo stove alcohol burner. So let's go through our tool list. We've got our REDCAMP alcohol burner, we've got our solo stove alcohol burner. We've got our two 25-ounce Pathfinder mugs. They're both filled with half a cup of water, just to keep things even. And because I already have the half cup measuring cup dirty, we're going to use this to test each alcohol burner's capacity. After that, we're going to need something to set our mugs on, and the REDCAMP came with this little stand, so we're going to use that for the REDCAMP. The solo stove alcohol burner did not come with one of those, so we're going to use this. This is a Pathfinder stand. It came with my mug set, and it should do the job just fine. And our fuel type today is going to be this, denatured alcohol. There's a bunch of different types of alcohols that you can use. I'm using this today. If you'd like to see a future video comparing the different types of alcohol that you can use, let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, let's start breaking these down. The very first thing we're going to look at is size. And at first glance, these two look almost identical. But when you set them next to each other, hopefully the camera can kind of pick that up, you can see that the solo stove is just a hair larger, and that can be both positive and negative. So this REDCAMP is going to be a little bit smaller and easier to pack, and the solo stove is probably going to have a little bit larger capacity and be a little bit sturdier. So we're going to give both of these guys 1 point to start off with. When you hold these two next to each other, you can definitely feel a difference in the weight. The solo stove is a slight amount heavier. We're going to give a point to the REDCAMP. Third is how user-friendly it is. If you have not watched the unboxing video of the REDCAMP, go ahead and go back and do that. There'll be a link to do so up here somewhere. Be very careful, as I said so in that video, when doing this. This is used when you have a flame right here. It's used to control and snuff out the flame. Okay, this is held on by a little rivet right here. And it's extremely easy to damage. So just use some extra caution when you're using this. Do it with care, okay? Take that guy off, open up the lid. This lid has a nice thick gasket, so it's definitely going to do a good job at keeping the alcohol in the stove and not spilling all over your pack. Very straightforward design. The flame comes out up here and acts just like a lot of your stoves. So you fill this with alcohol, light it on fire, and that's going to be your burner. Reassemble is that quick. Solo stove is the exact same. Again, guys, just a reminder to use care when you're using this, because that happened the very first time that I was using this little burner. So just a word to the wise. So take that lid off, pop that off, and it's very similar to that REDCAMP. Reassemble, there it goes. So for this category, there was no obvious winner, so we're just going to keep them at their current point. Next, we're going to compare what each one of these alcohol burners comes with in the box. The REDCAMP comes with this little stand. You can use it in 3 different ways. The most straightforward way is just set it inside and then stick whatever you're going to actually cook right on top. You can also stick this in there and then set whatever you're going to cook right on top there. And our third option is just to set our stand right over our alcohol burner and set our mug on top. So a few different ways to use this. It's pretty straightforward, pretty user-friendly. And our solo stove, just like our Titan, came with nothing. So clear winner in this category, and that's the REDCAMP. Now, guys, we're going to test each one's capacity. So I'm going to open both of these stoves up, and I'm going to pour some alcohol in both of these stoves, dump each one into my quarter cup, and we'll measure the capacity of both. So first up is our solo stove. We've got our stove nice and full. I'm going to dump this into our half cup measuring cup. And that's sitting like right at a half cup. So I'll pour that back in there. I'll probably spill a little bit, but that's got a pretty good capacity. Next up is our REDCAMP. Here's our full REDCAMP. I poured these both off camera, guys, for 2 reasons. One, I really don't know what YouTube's guidelines are as far as doing stuff like this, so I don't want to get a strike on the channel, especially being a brand new channel. And then second, obviously when you're pouring alcohol, sometimes you make a mess, so I saved you guys that mess. Let's pour it into our measuring cup. And we're sitting at just under a half cup. So these two stoves are very, very, very close. Again, guys, there's no clear winner, so we're going to keep the points as is. Okay, we've gotten to the fun part. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. We're going to test both of these and see how long it takes each of them to boil some water. So for our solo stove, again, it didn't come with anything in the box, so we're going to stick this guy right over top. And then our REDCAMP, we're going to use the stand that it came with. I'm going to light both of these and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got two decent little fires going on. I just want to point out, guys, right on the box of the REDCAMP, there's a warning that says, please do not add alcohol or gasoline during use. That should go without saying, but if we're using these, you don't want to add your alcohol or any kind of fuel source until the fire is out. So we've got a good flame. I'm going to stick our Pathfinder stand right there, and then we can stick water on that guy. And we can stick water right above our other stove. So while we're waiting, it's very clear that we've got a bit of a difference in form factor right here. The whole system for that solo stove is going to take up a little more space than the whole system for the REDCAMP. So we're going to include another point for the REDCAMP on that because it's more compact to use. The main concern that I did have with the REDCAMP and the little stand that it came with was that using the pair the way that they're shown in the box would not provide enough space between the flame and the bottom of the mug, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. Okay, the two mugs are heating up, and I can tell you the solo stove is definitely doing a better job at heating up this little mug. You can see the flame is a lot more apparent. This little guy, it is chugging along, but it's no match for the solo stove. The solo stove is definitely burning hotter and is definitely much more efficient. We're going to take a peek inside each of these stoves. So you can see inside the REDCAMP, it's cooking right along, doing a good job. And then if we look over here at the solo stove, it's almost to a boil. We have a rolling boil finally over here. And we have a clear winner. The solo stove burns hotter and more efficiently. All right, guys, so let's recap real quick. So we had our REDCAMP stove that cost about $15 on Amazon versus our solo stove, and that cost about $20 on Amazon. Is there a $5 difference in these stoves? The REDCAMP is definitely smaller, lighter, and a little bit easier to pack, and it comes with more accessories. The solo stove is absolutely more efficient and more effective. It burns hotter, and it boils water faster. So is the extra $5 worth having something that maybe does the job a little bit faster? That's up to you guys. I'm going to say the solo stove definitely won this round. If you need to save yourself the extra $5, go ahead and buy the REDCAMP. Otherwise, I'd recommend the extra $5 for the solo stove just because it boils water so much faster. Both stoves are still going right now. The solo stove is at a rolling boil and the REDCAMP is just starting to bubble. So if you don't mind waiting the extra minutes for that REDCAMP to start boiling, then save yourself $5. But to me, the extra few minutes over time is definitely going to be worth that extra $5. So there you have it, guys. Share the show with somebody you think could benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment, do all the YouTube things. Again, guys, I look forward to bringing you more comparisons just like this one and the last comparison that we did. This is a pretty fun type of video to make, and it's definitely been a very popular series so far. So if you guys have any ideas on products that you would like to see tested, drop a comment below and or send a suggestion to the email address listed in the description. Links to all of these products will be included down in the description. And as always, guys, get outside.